Alright, so work from Greco today. A really important skill in Greco, at least for me, is being able to work a 2-on-1. And so in Greco, like a lot of kids think you can just kind of go out there and grab a 2-on-1 and wrestle from there, but you aren't really going to get very far with that, just because once you start wrestling with better wrestlers, they're going to have good defense, and obviously they're going to fight that off, and they're going to. So to really get a good 2-on-1 in Greco, you're going to have to keep your arms in, and instead of bringing your hands to the body, you bring your body into him, and so that eliminates this distance between his arm and your body. So one of you, you're able to come in right here, gives you a lot more control. So just make sure you aren't reaching and you're stepping into the arm. So once you actually get the 2-on-1 right here, there's a couple key points. First, you're going to want to grab high on his arm and pull that really tight, okay? And this is really important right here. Just pay attention to this. You got to make sure that your shoulder is on top of his arm. And that's going to put a lot of pressure on him. You can see he's kind of buckling over. So where that pressure comes from is my body weight. And so I'm taking the weight off this foot and pushing it in his shoulder. So we're going to be wrestling. You grab 2-on-1, high on the arm, shoulder on top of his arm, and grabbing the wrist down here, all right? So we're going to play around with that a little bit, work on it for a couple minutes. And so what you're going to do with your partner is you're going to work with 2-on-1. And so you guys are going to be hand fighting openly right here. But once one of the partners hits a 2-on-1, you guys are going to practice controlling it, okay? If that makes sense. So you're in a hand fight, get control of 2-on-1, and your partner, he's going to let up a little bit and let you practice moving the guy. This is 1-1, all right? You guys got that? Any questions? All right, get with partner. 1, 2. Good. Essential Greco skills. And so, in Greco-Roman, you really want to lead with your hips. I see a lot of you guys, you're still kind of bent over. And so, you can really be comfortable having your hips in because he can't grab your legs. So, you're going to be stronger here than you would here because your head's up. And so, your hips are going to be in. All right, and so in hand fighting in Greco, like I said before, reaching is really bad. Like, whenever you reach, he can come underhook. He can, he can pretty much shoot whatever he wants. If he reaches on me, I'm gonna capitalize on that. So you're really gonna keep your elbows in, and you're gonna be working for underhooks right here, or overhooks. And so the difference, so an underhook is gonna be right here, obviously. It's going to be right here, obviously, and you're going to pull him up and into you. All right? An overhook, it's whenever he goes for an underhook, but you crunch right here, and you control his arm. And so those are both probably the two biggest ties in Greco-Roman wrestling. So really, it's important to keep your elbows in and work up and under it. Work from like the bottom up. So what we're going to do right now, what I want to do is just work some hand fighting with your partner, some live hand fighting. No throws, nothing like that. But you guys can do arm drags, you can do underhooks, work for double underhooks. All right? You guys have any questions on the ties or anything before we do some hand fighting? None? Not a single question? You guys gotta ask questions.
Are you going more forward and back motion, or are you getting angles?
Yeah, it's in Greco, like, it can seem two-dimensional, but Greco, it's really, angles are important because if you're trying to get a 2-on-1 straight ahead of him, you're not gonna have, any power or control there. But if you get the angle on this guy, you're gonna have a lot more power and control. Okay? And so that applies to everything, not just 2-on-1s. Underhooks, over ties. I'm not pulling them straight back. I'm pulling them down to the side. All right? So really focus on working your angles as you, hand fight. All right? So you guys get what we're doing? Live hand fighting. All right. Ready? What I'm doing is you're getting underhooked, and you guys just kind of like let him, do whatever he wants with that. And so, an overhook is kind of a defense to an underhook. So he goes underhook, and I can clap down like this. And so I think what you guys will get is my elbow. It's pinching against my body, but it's also pinching his arm. All right? And my top hand is grabbing his elbow. And this hand right here, it's grabbing on top of his arm. And so it's a lot more than it's really tight right here on his part. So just kind of something to kind of know for you guys is whenever you're coming to that overhook, don't just try and, lean on it. Pinch with your arm right here, grab with your right with his elbow, and grab on the shoulder. All right? You guys got that?
Yeah.
All right. So, okay, I want to move on and work on some chest-to-chest throws. So, I was going to work on a high dive with you guys. So, on a high dive, how it works, I'll show you the basic high dive. So it looks like this, all right? And so, that's probably where 85% of throws in grappling come from that high dive position. So, how this move is, it's a lot like a double leg, but your hips are going in and your chest is going to be out, okay? So, right, it looks like that, right? So the first step is going to be, you guys are going to be hand fighting, wrestling, and you're going to step in between his legs, all right? And your arms are going to come and walk low around his body, okay? Notice how I'm not just stepping and trying to walk. I'm changing my levels with my hips, right here, and I'm walking low on his waist, okay? And then you're going to pull back and up, okay? So you're going to be wrestling, hand fighting, step and change your level, step and change your levels, all right? And pull back and look up, all right? So we're going to drill this, but what I want the defensive guy to do is whenever you lift, I want him to move his hips and try and here, lift me further. Move your hips and try and off balance your partner, okay? So, as you lift, you're gonna move your hips and try and off balance the guy, okay? And so obviously this throw, it's gonna end with the throw back right there. But just for the sake of, not getting hurt as we kind of learn the move, all I want you guys to do is literally level, lift, and hold it for 3 seconds. 1001, 1002, 1003. Okay? Sound good? All right, 1, 2. Step in with that same leg, okay? The one on the same side. So see, I'm controlling this arm, so I'm stepping in with this leg. All right? So just make sure you guys are doing that right, okay? All right, 1. But we're gonna work on a different move. So what we're gonna work on now is a move off an underhook. So one of the best ways to score from here, in my opinion, is to obviously get control of your underhook, and then what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to fight for your second underhook, okay? And so once you get to control of both underhooks, what you want to do is you want to lock like this, up high, okay? And so the next step from there is you're going to pull like you're going to throw him, and then you're going to slide your lock down his back, okay? And so whenever your lock slides down, your head and your knees and your hips, they all move down with it, okay? And so you're going to be in a really good position right there, okay? So he's not even going to feel it. So you're going to have that lock, you're going to pull, and then you're going to drop. You're going to slide that lock down, okay? And so you're going to be in the same position, almost the same position you were before. So on this position, it's even more important to make sure your head stays glued to his chest, okay? If you're looking up like this, he's going to press on your chin, press on your chin, and both hands. And you're going to lose your lock, okay? So you're going to have your underhook, work for your second underhook, All right. Lift. Slide the lock down. And hold them up right here. I see like try to off balance here. Okay? For 3 seconds. So it's the same move, but we're getting there differently. So this move's off and underhook. So you're wrestling, get your underhook, your other underhook, lift, slide it down. All right, you go for that lift. One more thing that I saw a lot of you guys were doing wrong was you guys were lifting, but you were stepping forward. Okay? It's gonna be really hard to throw a guy like that in a real match. So you really want to make sure that you're stepping back as soon as you start lifting. Okay? And so doing that now will help reinforce good habits. Okay? So just to reiterate one more time. Right here, lift. You guys are going a little pop right here. Slide your lock, hips, head down. All right. Keep your head tight and walk backwards. You guys have any questions on that? Yeah.
So we're here, right? Here would we ref like call that full Nelson?
No, this is a really good position for you. This is a great position. So it's right here. All right. So from here you have a lot of options, but we're going to be working on this move right here. Any other questions? All right. 1, 2. It's a little game. Kind of like to play. It's not really a game, but it's like play wrestling. Okay. So in this game, holding the 2-on-1 for 3 seconds is a point. All right. Holding an underhook or for 3. What? What's that? Holding an underhook for 3 seconds. That's a point. Okay. Getting right here and lifting the guy's feet off the ground. That's 4 points. Okay? Yeah, because that's like a throw, right? And so in this game, it's like you guys are going to be hand fighting and looking for these 2-on-1s, underhooks, trying to get the points. But there's no throws, nothing like that, right? I know we kind of worked on this earlier, but I kind of wanted to make this a bit more clear and direct. But so this is a point, right? For 3 seconds, you have to hold for 3 seconds. Holding this for 3 seconds is a point. Getting a snap down and holding this is 2 points, okay? And anything where you get high dive or double unders in the lift, that's going to be 4 points, okay? So we're just going to work on that for maybe a couple minutes before we go top bottom. And just kind of mess around with that, all right, guys? Yeah.
When you get a high dive or a double unders, do you hold it for 3 seconds and it's 4 points? Or?
I mean, it would probably be good for you, but as long as you know, kind of, it's clear that his feet are off the ground, then you get points. So, I mean, if you lift him like this, and his feet are off the ground, they aren't really going to be coming back, okay? Like, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so just mess around with that. You know, rest of your partner for 3 or 4 minutes, right? 1, 2. Live wrestling, but you kind of get more positions out of it, right? You guys are less scared of taking throws. And so that really helps, develop hand fighting skills and wrestling, in my opinion. And so right now I kind of wanted to transition into some top-bottom stuff. All right. So how many of you guys know how to do grab positions? All right. So I guess we should probably work on the gut wrench before we work on the defense, huh? All right. So on the gut wrench, belly out. So leg flat. Face these guys. So on a gut wrench, you're going to want to grab, you're going to want to wrap your arms around his body, not too high, but not so low that you're around his belly. You want to be right on the lower part of his ribs, okay? So, you guys feel your ribs. Feel your ribs. See how they're kind of soft down low than they are up above? They're softer down here. And so that helps in wrestling because they're called floater ribs. They're like ribs that they have curl. Alright? So that's where you want to grab whenever you're gutting your opponent. So you want to be right there on that lower part of his ribs. Alright? So there's a couple ways you can lock. You can lock like this, but that means you have to switch your lock, is switch sides. Or you can lock like this if you have longer arms. Or some people like this lock too. Alright? I like this lock. So whenever you lock this way, you gotta make sure that the way that you're going, your lock is set up the right way. So if you're going to the right, your left arm has to be across the body. Alright, so that means that your right arm's on top. If you're on the left, your right arm has to be across his ribs, okay? That means that your left arm's going to go. So you're going to the right, your left arm's across his body. If you're going to the left, your right arm's across his body, okay? You guys got that? Alright, so on the gut wrench, there's a couple key points. So first, just like your body lock, you want to make sure that your head is tied against his back, okay? So you're going to drive forward with your feet, and then you're going to try and get your knee underneath it, alright? So it looks like this, alright? So both your feet are going to drive, and then the side that you're trying to turn it to, that leg is punching underneath his body, okay? So without a partner, it's going to look like this. You know, stand up. It's going to look like this. You're going to be driving, and that leg's going to punch underneath, and your head's going to be tied against his back, and this is going to be tied against your forearms, going to be tied against his ribs, okay? Squeezing. So once you get here, you're going to want to set your feet, drive them forward, and drive them through like that, okay? So, really important. Just like an arm bar, a gut wrench, you don't roll like this, okay? That's why you guys are doing your practice. You drive him forward, alright? And he goes forward to whichever side you're rolling. So it's not side to side, it's at an angle, alright? Wrestling, like I said earlier, it's all about angles. So, whenever he's down, throw it on the opposite side. You're going to be driving, this knee's going to drive your knee, he's going to be in your lap, alright? And you're going to be able to pop him through. So notice what I did there. I pop my knee underneath, and I stab him in my lap, okay? He's sitting here. And that means that I'm controlling him with my legs, okay? So, one more time. Pay attention. So, you're going to drive forward. Your knee is going to pop underneath him. Alright? You're going to sit him in your lap. And you're going to pop through an arch. You guys got that?
Yes, coach.
Alright. Any questions? I kind of showed a lot. Yeah.
So when you're up there, you don't get down to the waist? You don't
No.
get down.
So once you start, getting to higher levels of Greco-Roman, and you get guys who can defend really well, they want you to be around your waist because it's soft there, and that means that you'll slide. But whenever you're on his ribs, that means you control a part of his body that's stationary. It's not really going to move. Alright? So you really want to control the ribs or the hips. Alright? But we're just going to focus on the ribs. Alright? Ready? 1, 2. The problem that you guys have is that you're trying to pop, like, trying to arch and stick your leg underneath at the same time. So to be successful with this move, you're gonna have to get your leg underneath and get them seated in your lap before you drive them through and pop, okay? Right here. So, what you guys can do as you guys drill is get on top, get them seated in your lap, pause, hold this position for a couple seconds, feel where you're at, and then pop them through. Okay? So, if you guys feel like you're having some difficulty, I want you guys to do that. I want you guys to slide your knee underneath and seat them in your lap and hold them there for a couple seconds, okay? And then pop them through. You guys got that? Alright. Probably the best way to learn gut defense. Alright? So, you stand up. Alright? So, what we're going to do right now is we're going to do a drill. We'll do 2 groups. So, what we're going to do is do gut wrench defense down the mat. So, what it's going to look like is I'm going to tell you which side to defend, and you guys are going to defend that side, okay? So if I say right, you guys are going to look towards the right and walk down the mat. If I say left, you guys are going to stay on your left side and walk down the left. If I say middle, you guys are going to stay in the middle and walk your chest down the mat. So that's the drill, okay? So I'm going to go over a bit more what gut defense is, okay? So gut defense, a couple of really important things is so he's going to be trying to turn you to the left and to the right. So if he lines up to the right side, you're going to want to look into it, okay? And so this knee's going to come up a little bit, and this back leg is going to straighten out like you're doing a Superman, okay? Notice this leg's not really on the mat, okay? I'm like flexing my lower back and keeping that off the mat. And so that's going to let you get your hips to the mat and move your hips forward, okay? And so that's going to put a lot of pressure on this block. Same thing on the left side, okay? This leg's going to come up. My right leg is going to straighten out. All right, like I'm doing a Superman. And I'm going to drive forward. And so I don't just push with this leg. I pull with my arms as well. All right, so whenever you're defending your gut, you want to stop the mat because that's going to stop you from your hand sticking and getting, turn. So you're going to want to stop the mat, keep your hands moving so they don't get stuck. So we're going to work on that going down the mat. So everyone grab a partner and play with yourself 1 and 2.
I like
all right. So one's going to come down first, and then 2's going to follow behind them.
One's gonna go first, two's
One's first, two's go right after. All right. All right. Defend, gut wrench right.
left of the mat.
Straight mat.
Keep that leg up off the mat. Keep your leg up off the mat, like you were.
Right.
Keep that leg up.
Right this side. Middle. You're going to be slapping the mat and pulling yourself forward with your hands. But whenever you're facing, I'd say I'm facing to the left, you got to make sure that your hip is really, a lot of weight goes into that hip. And it should be that way because this isn't on the mat. This entire side of your body is off the mat, and all your weight's on this side, okay? So on this side, all my weight's going to be on this hip, trying to break this lock, okay? Or say this lock is up here, you're going to be putting your weight there, all right? So wherever this lock is, you want to put your body weight there. All right, so practice, putting your weight in your hip, putting it in your chest. All right? So on this next one, I really want you guys to focus on that, like knowing where you put your weight, whether it's in your hip or in your chest, all right? So we're going to go down there one more time. You guys ready? First group. From defending this side to defending this side, you guys are kind of going like this. All right? You match, you're going to get turned because he's going to be go to the side, he's gonna switch, get to that side. So, whenever I say to switch, and you're looking this way, and I say to look to the left, it's gonna look like this. All right, it's gonna be fast. Because that's the difference between you getting turned and the difference between you not getting turned. All right? So whenever I say switch, ask me quick. You guys got that?
Yes, coach.
All right. One more.